Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. In the name of our dear friend Bruno Groening, I wish you a warm welcome and I wish you happiness, health, peace, divine harmony in all areas of your life. And it may take a moment or many moments for all of those things to what's the word? To come to fruition. To anyone who's new to this channel, a very warm welcome. This channel is about the spiritual teachings, the life and work of someone named Bruno Groening. You can learn a little bit more about Bruno Groening clicking on the link in the chat box or the link below this video. This is going to be a guided contemplation where we're going to do two things. We're going to take in a sacred, healing, divine energy, and we're going to reflect on some of Bruno Groening's teachings. So, without further ado, let's do. So please, call to mind. And by the way, everything that I'm going to suggest is a suggestion. Please follow your heart, follow your own guidance, how to proceed with this practice, with these teachings. And that's a good practice to ask for guidance. Please don't follow me. Ultimately follow God, who, according to Bruno Groening, lives inside of each one of us. So please, or I suggest, calling to mind an image of God, an image of your spiritual helper. If you don't have a spiritual helper, I suggest Bruno Groening. His help and his teachings saved my life. So please call to mind your understanding of higher power and a spiritual helper. Now offer over to them all your problems, anything that doesn't feel good, whether it be an illness, an emotional challenge, a life situation, a relationship, any problem. Literally separate yourself from it. So we're going to spend a minute or two and do that now. Now, having done that, ask your spiritual helper or higher power to receive the divine healing energy and observe your body having the will and intention to take that energy in. So I'm going to share a few of Bruno Groening's teachings, offer some space to reflect on it. Please continue to tune in, to take in this energy. Hi, Sean. You are welcome. Thank you for saying hello. So, Bruno Groening called us to humility. Of himself, Bruno said, I am nothing, God is everything. So if that was true of Bruno Groening, I would suggest that that's true of us as well. It's written that Jesus said, of myself, I can do nothing. So let's reflect on these two great spiritual beings, some people might say spiritual masters, saying that they can't do anything without God, or they're nothing without God. Hi, forever loving everything. Bruno Groening also said, if you want to have the divine experience, or could be translated maybe as experience the divine, or he said, if you want to experience the divine, you must strive for it. So let's reflect on that. If we want the divine, we have to strive for it. And Bruno Groening also said of himself, I am and remain a child of God. I am no more and no less. And I am not ashamed of it. But most other people have grown up. But I have remained a child. Almost exact quote. I may have a little grammar off here and there. So let's reflect on that. Again, a great spiritual being. Some would say a spiritual master, saying that he's just remained a child of God. And that the problem is growing up. Let's reflect on what he might have meant by that. Bruno Groening also said, that we must believe in ourselves. First, we need to reflect on what he meant by self. He certainly didn't mean this body. I don't believe he meant our personality. I believe he meant our soul, our inner divinity. But please reflect on it and come to your own conclusion that we must believe in ourselves. Bruno also said, "What is a human being without God? I say with conviction, nothing." So, according to Bruno Groening, once again, without God, we're nothing. Let's reflect on this. And Bruno Groening said, the human being is and remains divine. So let's reflect on that. The truth about ourselves, that we are divine. Nothing can change that. Maybe something can cover that over or obscure it. But that divinity, that sacredness, untouchable, according to Bruno Groening. Let's find out for ourselves. And yet, Bruno Groening said, if a person takes in one negative thought, they truly become a servant of evil, a servant of the devil. So let's reflect on this interesting situation of what it is to be human, that we are inherently divine, nothing can touch that. And yet, if we take in even one negative thought, we're forced to do evil. So today I've gone back and forth between talking about humility and how powerful we are as human beings and how important that we strive. So when I think about these two teachings of Bruno, or these different teachings of Bruno, what I'm left with is this image of myself as a divine soul that is in between these two powerful forces, one good, one evil. And my need for the good, specifically to overcome the evil. Bruno said, if you adopt the attitude or the thought, I want to be healthy, then ask God for help. Human beings are too weak on their own. So let's reflect on this image of us as a divine soul in between these two forces, and yet needing, while we are divine, yet simultaneously needing the good, needing God to overcome this mighty force, which Bruno called bosse, nastiness, viciousness, evil, or he's called the devil, Satan. So Bruno Groening taught us, instructed us to trust in God and yet to strive for God. So it's not this passive of, okay, God, I trust you, you take care of everything. It's sincerely entrusting ourselves to God, and yet continuing to strive for God, and maybe most importantly, being vigilant with our thoughts. So let's take a moment and ask this divine energy to bless each one of us individually. Let's ask for any situations in our lives. Let's ask that we be made purer, cleaner, stronger, and stronger instruments of God, conduits of God. Let's ask for divine guidance and the willingness to follow it. Let's ask for those near and dear to us. Let's ask for our household's harmony in the place we live and those we live with. Harmony in our neighborhoods. Our cities. Just asking this divine energy to shower our cities. The states we live in. The countries we live in. Let's ask for the whole world, for Mother Earth and every living thing on it. And let's ask for ourselves and for everyone deeper and deeper devotion to God. I'd like to thank everyone for joining in and everyone who took the time to watch this. I'm going to wrap up in a minute or so. Thank you so much to everyone for joining in. I wish all of you a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm very grateful for this channel, for each one of you who participates. I'm alive today because of Bruno Groening and his teachings. And this is part of how I say thank you. Take care. Big love.